commentator Scott Schmeigel during the Spotlight Series. Let's learn more, Nathan, about this 972 and what it can do.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Scott Schmeigel. I'm a product application specialist for Caterpillar, covering North America. And what a beautiful day here at Cat Operator Stadium, huh? Welcome. Get the opportunity to showcase our medium wheel loaders to you guys today. Do you guys know that we've been building wheel loaders? Caterpillar's been building wheel loaders for over 60 years now. We're on our 13th generation of loaders. So what an accomplishment, right? We're glad you guys are out here and get the opportunity to showcase these with certified demonstrator instructor Nathan Myers.
Hey, thanks for that crowd that's out here. This is awesome. Thank you.
So we get to showcase this 972M. It's part of our medium wheel loader line, if you will, 950 to 982, basically that 5 to 12 ton class loaders. And so we're going to take a look at this machine. Nathan, did you see how Brian, when he got done bucking up that pile, that he went ahead and parked this machine up, got that windshield cleaned up for you?
Yeah, I noticed he was up there, hanging out, getting me before my pre-shift, and he actually tied off up there. That's something new I haven't seen before.
He did, didn't he? Basically used that OSHA-approved 5,000-pound tie-off, safely got up there on that slip-resistant step, got that windshield cleaned up. We got the machine all ready for you, but I'll bet you want to do a bit of a walk around before we get going.
Well, let's dive into it, Scott.
Sure, let's do it.
So, hey, one of the things that I really like about this wheel loader is right here, flip of a switch, door opens up, I can see everything from ground level. So I got my automatic greaser up there, I can see my hydraulic fluid, windshield wiper fluid, everything is down here at my fingertips. Automatic greaser fill right here. I don't have to climb up there anymore, so that makes it real nice. And as we transition to the back, again, ground level service, engine fill, engine check, diesel exhaust fluid, coolant up top, right at my fingertips. Easy to get to, real nice.
So all this is done easily from the ground. You got your lights coming on for 2 minutes, safe, good operation, visibility in the morning when it's dark. You can see all this stuff. And now moving from 500 hours down to 1,000 hours, you got lower owning and operating costs as well on this machine.
And when I open up the door, lights come on. For those early mornings, late starts, it really helps me out as an operator.
You bet. Yep.
Hey, coming around to the front here, Scott, this bucket, it looks pretty familiar. It's like the same one that was on my K-Series.
Your K-Series, I'm glad to see you recognize that. It's a very similar shape. We've had this Performance Series bucket, if you will, out for 10, 12 years. Basically what it is, it's got a longer floor, so you can get good penetration in that pile. You're loading that bucket much faster, 1 to 3 seconds faster. You're getting that material up into that bucket with 5 to 7% less fuel, and you're carrying more material because that material just rolls along that long floor of that bucket, and then when you rack it back, you're getting a really nice fill factor, up to 110, 150%, depending on the material types that you're moving. So.
One thing that I noticed, Scott, is this right here really helped me with my fill factor, these cutting edges here.
So that rounded sidebar, if you will, it's great for when you get that material up in the air. You're not losing material as you're running around the job site. You've got less cleanup later on. And then not just that, but this integrated spill guard. Notice it's just in the center here, right? You're just protecting your critical components in the center and then protecting from material dribbling over the back and dribbling down your lift arms, cracking your glass. You ever had that happen?
Yeah, let's just say my last supervisor probably wished I had that on there.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't know that it's just your supervisor that's going to appreciate that. Notice it's just in the center, so when you do roll that bucket back, you got great visibility as an operator down into that bucket, knowing how much material you've got in that bucket. Keeps you working with confidence.
All right. Well, tell you what, Scott, I'm going to climb up in there and get going.
Sounds good. Folks, as Nathan climbs up on this machine, notice the 3 points of contact that he's got on that machine. Nice 15-degree recessed angle as he's climbing into that machine. Self-cleaning stuff, so if it does have mud in there, it's not freezing and making a slip hazard. So we're really focused on getting that machine, that operator in and out of that machine safely every day. We know that 50% of your slips, trips, and falls happens getting on and off equipment, so we want to try and make these guys as safe as possible.
Hey Scott, I noticed climbing up in here, it says Aggregate Handler back there. I haven't seen that before.
You haven't? Well, I'm glad that you recognize that. Basically, simply, folks, what that Aggregate Handler package means is we take that same frame of that machine, and when you're in a rehandling application, we can simply upsize that bucket, if you will, because we put a larger counterweight on the back. And what that means is 10 to 15% more production with that same machine in a rehandling application. So great spot on that. Yep.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed when I was checking the tires out, these tires are not the same tires I'm used to. This is something different.
You're pretty observant there, Nathan. Folks, what he's talking about is these low-profile tires. Simply what that means is that aspect ratio of that sidewall height to the width of that tire. And especially for an aggregate handler machine, if you will, you basically now, if this is your pivot point of that machine with a wider stance, you got more stability when you get that bucket up in the air. But then also, think of it this way, this is your pivot point of that machine. So if you upsize your bucket with a wider tire, larger rim on the back, heavier tire back there, you've got more stability with regards to that because you've got more counterweight. On this 972 as an example, you got about an 1,100 pound additional full turn static tipping load just by going from standard tires to low profile tires. It's just driving more confidence in that operator of what he's doing, more stability and more production out of your day.
Well, I tell you what, Scott, I'm going to go ahead and fire this thing up and
Let's
get
do
going.
it. But you know what, Nathan? I'm a little concerned anytime
What?
I got an operator in a seat and he just doesn't buckle his seatbelt.
What?
So let's
Oh,
operate safely,
man.
bud. Guys, the reason I knew he didn't seatbelt is if you look on the top of that cab, there should be a green light that comes on now, and that is basically a seatbelt indicator light for the site supervisor to know that his crew is actually working safely. All that stuff is also pumped off board into Vision Link, so you've got some ideas as far as that goes as well. So.
All right, well, I'm going to get started here. So I got my friend Brian Kane here in this 972 or 725. He's going to come out and help me, but I'm going to load this machine, probably about 3 passes. But there's a couple things that I need to do first. Scott, you know, there's so many options on this on the pillar here that I can change. So for my preferences.
Hey Nathan,
Yeah.
you want to demonstrate that joystick steering that you got in that loader?
Oh yeah, you know what? That's some good stuff right there. I got so excited.
Is that new to you or is that familiar to you, that joystick steering?
No, this joystick steering, I tell you what, you know, I mentioned in this last demo, it's been in my K-Series wheel loader, and forward, neutral, and reverse, gear change, everything is right here, and force feedback.
You bet. So you got good roadie speed control with that, but also you get into tight, nimble areas, you got good control with that as well. And all of those sensors, folks, are dual redundant. So we're making sure if there is a sensor that would happen to go out, he's not losing his steering. It's keeping him safe in that loader as well.
And you know what else, Scott?
Yeah,
Just the visibility of it. I can see right in front of me. I got all the visibility that I need.
Now that backup camera too, you got
Yeah.
visibility with that backup camera?
Oh, what's this going off on
Well,
here?
there you go. So you got that standard backup camera, but on top of that, we have that CAT detect system. It's a radar-based object detect system. And what makes ours a bit different out there that maybe you're not aware of, it's speed sensitive. So the faster you're going, the faster that's going to come on. The slower you're going, the slower it'll come on. So we're trying to get rid of some of those nuisance alarms, keep you working, keep you as productive as possible as we can. So, yep.
You know what, Scott? Forgot about the joystick. It's because I'm so used to it. It's been around here, so that's why.
It has been around for a long time. Goes back to our K-Series. Fantastic solution, especially in a production environment. But hey, can you talk to us about what you would do in that loader to start loading the truck? And,
Yeah.
and is there any features you want to adjust?
Yeah, there's, we got the automatic gear selector, so I've got that set at automatic. For me, I prefer to have the neutralizer off, so I've selected that off. My kickouts, I have those set to where I want. Most importantly, it's probably hard to see on the dash, but I'm going to use economy mode for this. So it really helps me out when I'm loading this truck.
I
Save
like
a little
that
bit of fuel.
I like that you pointed out. Folks, that economy mode in a CAT loader, what we basically do is you lose no rim pull and torque when you're digging in that pile. And then basically he's got that full speed to get over to that truck, but what we simply do with our economy mode is clip out our max acceleration in the upper level gear. So in a truck loading application, you're really not going to notice any effect, any change there from a speed or cycle time standpoint, and you're going to save quite a bit of fuel, up 7-9%. So,
Yeah,
yep.
so Scott, up here on my display, you probably see in the cab here, even when I go into reverse, it's showing me my payload system. So this payload system, it's got a whole bunch of different features. So I can raise the bucket on the move. I don't have to sit static when I'm loading this truck. So I have a desired payload in here. I'm also using the lights on that truck as well, but I can enter in my material ID. So I have selected, this infamous Vegas dirt.
Vegas dirt.
And then I've selected that I want this truck labeled the 725, and I could put a target weight in there if I wanted to, but because of the densities in this material, I'm going really off those lights. But let's say I had to put a normal, a certain weight in here. The nice thing about this, it has what we call that dynamic tip-off. So I can either do it at the truck or the stockpile. So I'm going to do it at the stockpile.
Perfect.
I raise the bucket up a little bit. I get a low-level weight. Tells me right on the screen. let's say I'm going to get rid of some of that material.
Can we see that on the screen there?
Yeah.
Let's see
So
that
I'm
in
metering
cab
it
display.
off, getting a little bit off on here. There we
It's
go.
hard to see that in it. Yep. Okay.
So I've got that material. Now as I back up, I go back through that weigh range, and now I get that accurate weight, and it's also telling me exactly what's going on in here. So it really works out nice, Scott.
Nathan, I like how you pointed out that it really does not interfere with your normal operating practice at all on those first couple passes. And then it just complements what you're doing on that last pass because it gives you real live information right there as you tip that material off, and you can adjust that and just carry what you need over that truck. Finish that truck out so he's not underloaded, or perhaps if it's an on-highway truck, he's not overloaded and your chance at fines and things like that. But hey, Nathan, what would you do from a load and carry standpoint? Is there any adjustments that you would do inside that cab to make it more efficient for you?
Yeah, so a couple things. First off, I got done loading that truck. I hit the store button. That's the most important button. We're going to see here in a little bit. So I stored that material so it re-zeroes it out. But load and carry, I'm going to a hopper, I'm feeding a concrete plant or an asphalt plant. I'm going to make sure I have that ride control set. My neutralizer is the same thing. I still have the economy mode going on here. So let's go for it.
Fantastic. So you've got your ride control set. And folks, in a longer load and carry, with that dual accumulator system on these cat wheel loaders, basically what that operator gets is the benefit of a pre-charge both for an empty bucket as well as a full bucket. Well, why is that important? It's making sure that that operator is comfort both to and from the pile. That allows him to go much faster, quicker cycle times, more comfortable ride. He goes home a bit more refreshed throughout the day. But then he's also, to get up to those higher speeds, he's got that power shift transmission in this machine with 5 speeds. It's that single clutch speed shifting. And what does that mean to you guys? That means basically we're eliminating 25% less torque, and so you've got a little bit the industry-leading smooth shifting in that loader. Now on top of that, when you do come to some inclines and things like that, you've got a lockup clutch that takes some of the inefficiencies out of that system when you do actually start going up some inclines. So fantastic.
Yeah, this transmission climbs right up here. Look at this, look at this.
Right on up there, and you're ready to charge that hopper, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. So got our world famous invisible hopper here. Dump it in here. Went through the weigh range. I'm gonna store it.
All right, and
There
can
we
we
go.
see what's on inside that cab? Can you tell us on that display, can you retrieve how much tonnage we've actually moved today during this demo?
We can. So tap a button here. I can go up to our totals menu.
Yep.
It's just like a car, your trip report. Go to
And then
A, comes up, and it's going to tell me what I've done here.
So you've got your tonnage, you've got basically productivity information, some fuel efficiency information, but you could also go in and track, in this case we were tracking Vegas dirt, so you can go into those material totals and see how much Vegas dirt we've moved. So you can reset those, recapture those both on board the machine, but that data is also pumped off board into our telematics, into our CAT productivity suite as well. So you can understand what that machine's been doing, and the materials that it's been moving from a day-to-day basis or week, month, what have you, don't you?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's real nice. If I wanted to select different materials or whatever, it shows me it in there.
Perfect. So folks, this is our 972M. It's a fantastic wheel loader. If you're basically looking at 3-pass machines, say your production targets are around 24, 25 trucks an hour, this machine right here for 24 to 30 tons, 3-passing that, fantastic machine. If your production demands are a bit higher than that, say 35 trucks or so, we've got this 982 right out here, this static machine that's a perfect, true 2-pass machine, 24 to 28 tons. You can get in there, 2-pass those machines in that 2,500 pound material and keep your production targets up. So guys, we really appreciate your time today. We'd love to see you out on all of this equipment, but more importantly, enjoy the day and thanks for coming.
Scott, Nathan, thank you guys so much. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody, showing off that beautiful 972. If you take a look up at the big screen, you'll see a QR code. We want to help try to give you guys some great prizes. So take your camera phones out, go to take a picture of that. I'll give you a little link. You can check in for the Spotlight Series. For the great giveaway, we've got cat hats, cat phones, even a cat mini excavator. So make sure you do that. Now coming up, we're going to be back in just a little while at 11:30 with Titan of the Trades with Mike Rowe. Take a look at the screen.